And I will. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 30th event in the Spring Rights Literary Festival. I'm Robin Schwartz. I'm the Community Arts Partnership Program and Grant Director. And the Spring Rights Literary Festival is one of the Community Arts Partnership's annual events, such as we do the Greater Ithaca Art Trail, the Ithaca Artist Market, we have the Cap Art Space Gallery, we have a Capapalooza Vintage Art Sale fundraiser. We also have 5 grant programs for Tompkins County artists and not-for-profits. And this year alone, we are distributing over $550,000 of state, county, and foundation money for hundreds of local artists and events. We assist in grant writing and grant idea development. So if anyone is interested in a grant and you're from Tompkins County, you can email me. I will put artspartner.org, our website, into the chat. We're also organizing professional development and networking events this year. And we just put out a job posting for a 10-hour-a-week assistant. Yay. Which will mostly be a remote position. So that's something, if anyone is interested, you can get in touch with me about. And I wanted to mention that from June through September, there are 7 additional workshops. And one of them in August sorry, I wasn't ready for this, August 3rd, a Thursday, on Zoom. There's a Story House Ithaca workshop called Make Your Writing Sing, a writer's practice for reading aloud. And I invite you to go to springrights.org and look on the workshop page and register for that event. And I would like to thank our Spring Rights sponsors. Because of these wonderful sponsors and funders, we're basically able to offer 40 free events for the general public and actually pay 120 artists. So thank you to sponsors. Yay. Ithaca College, Wegmans, M&T Bank, CFCU Community Credit Union, the Odyssey Bookstore, and the Ithaca Marriott. We received grant support from New York State Council on the Arts, Poets and Writers, Tompkins County Tourism, and our media sponsors are WITH Radio, WSKG, and Cinemapolis. And I think that's it. I was going to say there are more events this weekend, but that isn't true. This is the last one. So I am now going to turn the mic over to Lesley Greene. And Lesley, I accidentally muted you. So take it away, Lesley.
Hello, welcome. So wonderful that you're joining us for this. So I'm Lesley Greene of Story House Ithaca, and here's the 1 minute what is Story House Ithaca introduction. Story House Ithaca is a relatively new organization. We became really official in 2021, and we're a project of the Center for Transformative Action. And our what we do is we bring people together around stories of all kinds. So, for example, the program that you're about to see today was a Story House Ithaca program, and just one other. And where do you're going to meet? So I'm co-director. You're going to meet the other co-director, John Miller, at the end, because he's going to tell you about all the other things we've got coming up. But where do the ideas come from? The ideas come from people like you. People come to us with their ideas. So, and including this project, you'll hear about how this happened. We'll put our website in the chat, and hope that if you're not already abreast of what we're up to, I hope you will join us for other things. So that's who Story House Ithaca is. And now I want to introduce Sara Stamatiades, who was the person who came to us with this awesome idea. And Sara, if you'd introduce yourself, and then love to hear where did the idea come from and why did we tackle this thing?
Absolutely. Thank you, Lesley. And thank you everyone for being here. It's so great to see so many faces. I'm Sara Stamatiades. I'm a PhD candidate at Cornell in the Literatures and English department studying theater. And about like a year and a half ago now, I think, Lesley, John, and I were brainstorming about what we would like to do as a project for Story House Ithaca. I just finished co-leading another playwriting workshop in Ithaca, so it seemed kind of natural to do another one, but we were wanting to do something different, of course. So I was looking around for ideas, and I came across the longstanding program for the New York Theater Workshop called Mind the Gap. And Mind the Gap is an intergenerational playwriting workshop, and it just seemed really exciting, really fun, really unique. And I brought this idea to do something similar to Lesley and John, and they immediately latched onto it. I think because it was exactly the kind of project that Story House Ithaca is about. It really reflects their vision and values, namely bringing people together through stories. So this idea was really a stolen one. Obviously, we made it our own, but we really benefited from some generous guidance from Alex Santiago Girao from the New York Theater Workshop, who I want to give a shout out to because he met with us early on to give us ideas about activities and the application process and what to do. But that's really where the idea came from, was from kind of this brainstorming session, talking with Alex. But that was the idea, to do an intergenerational playwriting workshop to bring people together. Yeah.
Oh, great. And now I want to introduce Carley Robinson, and Robin, will you add her to this? There she is. Carley, would you introduce yourself and yeah, how did you get involved, and then like sort of let's launch into like how did we do this thing? How was this workshop organized?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Carley Robinson. I'm a local theater artist here in Ithaca and in Syracuse. I've worked with numerous theater companies in town, so I think my name just kind of got floated around, and Lesley reached out when they were looking for a co-facilitator. So the idea of doing a playwriting workshop was really exciting to me. I'm not a playwright, but I do a lot of devising and work in theater in all of the other ways. So this was a fun new venture. So I really got to learn, on my feet of like, how are we going to make this happen? So we started with kind of an interview / matching process to get participants, posting and, connecting with community partners as much as we could to get people in the room. And once we had, a really solid group of seniors and a really solid group of teens who were really willing to commit to giving us their Saturdays, which was lovely. We matched them up based on a few activities that we did for a couple of weeks in terms of like, what are the stories that are coming up for you? How do you create good questions to ask people to get the stories that are interesting to you? So we did that the first couple of weeks. And then right around week 4, we gave everybody kind of a chance to pick their top people that they really felt that they were connected to across their age groups, and matched from there. After that, we really we gave people a lot of time to like get to know each other and go deeper into those stories that they had heard. And then after that, they started writing. So we had to throw in some good playwriting basics into there, but really it was rooted in this interview process. And the whole thing took 10 weeks. So they wrote these 10-minute plays in 10 weeks, which was pretty impressive.
Oh yeah. So the participant, in the end, we had 8 participants and they each wrote a 10-minute play. And today we're going to give you just a little taste of, I mean, really, I think they were wonderful, amazing plays, and it was an incredible process, and you'll hear more. But should we start with the first one? Okay.
Let's do it. Absolutely.
Marilyn, who is on here, we are showing your play first. So here's a little snippet. Let me see if I can do it in the new way that oops, that Robin just showed me. Da-da-da. No, yes, let's see. And let's try it. Let's see if this works. I need somebody here. Okay, here we go. A little snippet of
Marilyn is on Zoom, 15 minutes early for a call with Amaya. Her daughter stands by, ready to assist if needed. Amaya pops into view.
Hi, Marilyn. How are you?
Hi, Amaya. Fine. Well, really not fine, as you can tell from my voice. On Sunday, this started as laryngitis, so bear with me.
Sorry to hear. Yeah, you sound funny.
How are you? Where are you? On Saturday, you said you would be away this week.
I'm in Canada. I'm here with my family. We came here last year and we had such a great time we came back.
Where in Canada? It's so close. You almost forget that Canada's another country. And it's so beautiful.
We are in Ottawa, the capital. Last year we came here for Winterlude. It's held the first 3 weeks of February. It's a huge celebration of everything winter.
Yes, a friend of a friend was there several years ago with his sons and posted their photos on Facebook. It looked magical. He said they loved every minute of it.
And what we didn't say is, so we had this, in this 10-week program, they wrote the plays, and then we had amazing actors read them at the Kitchen Theater. And so that's what you just saw a snippet of, like the final presentation. And at some point I will tell you who all the actors were, because they were also really wonderful part of this process.
What I would love to say about Marilyn's play too, we started with Marilyn's play for the actual performance, and why we want to start it with it today is because it shows, I think, so well just that process of interviewing someone. I think Marilyn's play kind of tapped into that process of trying to get to know someone, sometimes awkwardly over Zoom when you have, technology getting in your way, but it just kind of gives some insight into that process. Yeah.
Yeah, and although they spoke to each other and interviewed each other in the class, then they also always had homework to connect as well.
Yes. And, we started our process at the end of January, and, there's spring break to contend with and family vacations and all of those different things. So, I really applaud the folks who participated in this workshop, because they were so committed to learning about each other, and making it work via phone call, via Zoom, via any form of communication that they could get. And like in person, of course, was always appreciated, but they really made it work in and outside of the room.
Yeah. So we've got this next, should I show the next, do you want to introduce like the theme of the next clip, or should I just? Yeah.
So it's great to like talk to people about their stories, but how does that turn into a play, right? So a lot of our job as facilitators was introducing those structural pieces. And so the next clip that you'll see was really stood out to us when we were thinking about what we wanted to share here about, what were the really clear playwriting basics that we had. And I think this clip really demonstrates like how those came to life in the final staged reading.
Yeah, and I mean, and maybe we should say that almost maybe nobody, or at least very close to no one in the class, had ever written a play before. So yeah, teaching like basics of playwriting was an important part of the whole process. Okay, clip number 2 is Tim's play. Do we know where that sound is coming from?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Can you move?
I'm muting people. So there are some people who I'm muting and then they're unmuting themselves. So if everyone can stay on mute, that would be marvelous.
And we will have we'll be wanting to talk to you at the end, but yeah, but let's wait till then. Here's the next clip.
Is it Halloween or something? I'm sure it was June, but then I haven't checked my calendar.
It's a long story. I'm rehearsing for a play, but I just realized as I was already in full costume that I have to be somewhere urgently and I'm gonna be late.
Ah, Well, it seems I'm not the only one not checking my calendar. So, where is it that you have to be?
Well, my husband's nephew is having his christening right now, and I forgot. I'm dressed ridiculously. See, the play is about the life of Vivian Lee, and I'm playing her. And we're doing the Gone with the Wind section right now, so my dress is, as you can see, a whole ball gown. Please go quickly. I don't want anyone to get a bad impression of me. I'm already worried that my mother-in-law dislikes me. Oh, this is going to be so embarrassing.
Yeah, no, that sounds like it's going to be dreadful. Okay, we're almost there. How late are you?
Shoot. 8 minutes. How much longer?
That's me. My GPS has been acting strange lately. Looks like this is it.
Good. Thank you.
Good luck.
He drives away. While walking toward the building, the bottom of Lee's shoe breaks.
Ah, my shoe!
She continues to walk toward the building, limping now. Then she stops.
Oh, no. This is the wrong church.
She runs to catch the driver, but he's gone.
This is a disaster. What should I do? Call another taxi. Oh, I can't get to this christening like this anyway. It'll be terrible. Maybe I should just go back to rehearsal.
She grabs her phone out of a pocket.
Hi, honey. I'm gonna be late, like really late.
Amazing.
Carley is now muted. Yeah.
Yes.
Just to
Yeah.
name it loud, one thing that we talked about was how good plays have conflict, right? That's kind of the central part of plays for playwriting. So that play just really had a good conflict, I think, right, Carley? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And obstacles. We talked a lot
Yes.
about obstacles and that.
Yeah, so we
the
talked about, those very basic things of like, what does your character want? Obstacle, like what is keeping them from getting those things? And conflict, like that whole structure of like want plus obstacle equals conflict, right? And so it was just so beautiful to see like how it can come out in a really simple way. Like this person, the obstacle is time. The obstacle is so many things, but one big one is time. And like that's an obstacle we can all relate to. So it was just really funny to see the humor come out as people were playing with these different pieces.
Well, so maybe Sara, could you talk a little bit about so what did happen in the workshop? How did it go? What did you guys learn?
Absolutely. I mean, the workshop was wonderful. I loved it, and I would be excited to hear from our playwrights at the end in our Q&A as well about their experiences. But certainly was, a learning process for Carley and I. Neither of us had ever led an intergenerational playwriting workshop, and we had to learn as we went along. And we were really lucky to have such a great group of participants who were just game to kind of go there with us. But I think one thing that we learned that maybe I didn't anticipate so much thinking about in the planning was just kind of this question of how do you honor someone else's story? And I think our group, it was really clear that our playwrights really earnestly wanted to respect and care for and just honor their partner's stories. So if anyone out there is thinking about doing something similar, whether organizing something like this or taking part in it, it's something worth considering. Do you encourage people to stick to someone's story almost biographically? Or can they take creative liberties, right? So this was kind of a question early on we had to grapple with as facilitators. And I remember one thing that Alex from New York Theater Workshop told us, for their version, they did not encourage what he called verbatim theater, right? Kind of writing a story word for word. And that's kind of what we landed on ultimately, that people could take creative liberties with other people's stories, but always in the spirit of creativity, curiosity, and trust ultimately. And so for this reason, our first feedback sessions were in those pairs, right? So people could give feedback like, "Oh, you took this liberty with my story that I don't know if I'm totally okay with," and then they could take it out. Or actually, this is a little too close to reality for me. Can we maybe get away from that, right? So we wanted to kind of give people that opportunity to have honest conversations with their partners early on. So I think now we'll have two clips that kind of show this, one that leans more biographical and one that leans kind of more fantastical, where someone was taking more creative liberties with their partner's stories. So the first one maybe we'll show is Ace's clip. Lesley, does that work?
Yeah, I think that's great. And the fun thing is that these two were partners, so they took really different approaches, but they were partners. So let's see the next one.
So I'll just set it up and just say, so Ace wrote this play about his partner's John's life, and this particular moment was kind of around John thinking about leaving his life and theater. So that's kind of where this is coming from.
Here we go.
You need a well-paying, stable job that doesn't drain you. You don't have a future in theater.
And you do? I don't, but you still get to hang on to your dreams?
Yes, John, because my dreams are just that, my dreams. I don't try to make my dreams pay the bills. You know, I have another gig coming up next week in Brooklyn, baby shower, lots of pink food.
Pink food? What do you mean, pink food?
Pink apples, pink cheese, pink marshmallows, pink donuts, pink macaroons, pink M&Ms, pink pomegranates, pink grapes.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it gets better. Beets, watermelon, grapefruit, ham, Himalayan salt, octopi and berries, strawberry mousse, strawberry ice cream, strawberry cheesecake, strawberry...
That's enough. I get it.
Fine. All I was trying to say is, I have another gig for you. Should I tell them you're coming or not?
I don't know. Pink?
It pays.
I don't know, Joel. I'm new at this. What if I mess up?
You didn't mess up today, did you?
No.
Well, there you have it.
But it's stressful. It's a lot of unknown territory.
So get to know it.
That's not how it works.
Of course that's how it works. Hell, you sound like my little niece right now, turning down options before you've even really tasted them.
And it's just this...
Yeah, have you ever once considered, John, that theater was once new to you too? Unless I'm remembering wrong, you didn't exactly feel destined for theater when you took your first class.
Sure, but all the people, all the guests.
What about them?
You know what? Fine. If it means you'll stop bugging me about it, I'll go. Fine.
Okay.
That's a great one.
Can I share the next? Well, okay, I'm gonna stop the share and then share again the next one. And I don't know, I don't know how clear it is to everybody watching. So that was written by how old is Ace?
I don't know, but a teen, right?
A teen, about someone who's a senior, life experience. So there's the next one.
Lights up on a tiny bedroom with 2 single beds. There's a small window with steel bars above each bed. It is late morning.
Oh, boy, it's cold. Sure is cold in here. I'm freezing. Roy? Hey, Roy! You up?
No,
You sound up.
I'm not up. I'm asleep.
Well, it must be that other Roy.
Oh, today's book trip day.
That's right. And I've made my decision.
You shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
I will and I must.
But your family, they...
I know, but I can't do this anymore. Cleaning, cooking, working, it's all we seem to do here. I can't do it. I just can't clean another toilet.
I cleaned the bathroom last week.
And I cleaned them the week before, and I am cleaning them again this week.
And your point is...
And I'll probably be assigned to clean them next week.
Or you might be on cooking duty?
Cooking, cleaning, scrubbing, what's the difference? Where's the education?
It's all part of the system.
Yes, but is the system working? I'm dreaming about toilets.
So this one leaned more fantastical, right? So if I'm remembering correctly, John, who's one of our seniors, kind of latched onto this particular detail of a story that Ace told him about a field trip where Ace really hated cleaning the toilets on this field trip. And that just kind of became the basis of the play, and he ran with it and kind of turned it into a bit of a prison drama. So a lot of creative liberties were taken with this one. But I remember Ace saying, after reading the first draft, he was reflecting on it and saying how funny it was that this story diverged so much from what actually happened, but it felt really familiar, right? And it felt like still kind of the same feeling as his memory or this experience that he had had on this field trip. So it's just funny how both approaches can kind of lead to connection in different ways. Yeah.
Definitely. And I think it really showed like where were people drawn to? Like were they drawn to the characters? Were they drawn to the story itself? And I think that really leads nicely into kind of our next couple of clips and other things that we learned or noticed while doing this workshop was how much like deep learning and listening there were between these partners. They're like, part of the whole point is that we're connecting across generations, right? And like learning what it was like, you know, in the past, what it's like now, to be a young person. And what does that, like, what are the things that feel really different, but also what are the things that feel really, really familiar? And I think some of these next couple of clips really show the way that things that can feel so different really resonated with people across the generations.
Okay, so here is Amaya's clip, and Amaya is on this call. Amaya's playing.
He wanted to end war. He could have done it too, I know he could.
Mom, do you think there will be another war?
He was so young.
Are we going to war?
His dreams could have lived on.
Mom!
They were such a wonderful family. How can anyone recover from something like this?
I don't know! But will things ever go back to
I
normal?
don't know. I can't imagine.
You don't know?
He was our hope. So young, so inspiring.
How could anyone shoot him? Are we going to be okay?
I don't know.
Part 2. Years later, a grown-up Marilyn stands in a hospital room, staring at the television and talking on the phone.
A terrorist attack on New York City. 2 planes crash into the Twin Towers. Oh my God, I can't even believe this is happening. 2 planes on one day into the Twin Towers. They're probably the most important buildings in New York. I can't believe it. 2 planes. No. 4 planes. Oh, it just gets worse and worse. They must have planned it ahead of time. It's awful. Oh my goodness. What if we go to war?
One. And then the next is to 1.
And I just want to name in that clip, it was one moment where we were talking about John F. Kennedy and his assassination. And then the next moment was about the 9/11 terrorist attacks and how those happened, you know, in one person's lifetime. And then, you know, the pandemic happens. And, you know, like it's like these huge life events that we're all experiencing together, like happening in one lifetime.
And I think in that play, she also like beautifully explored like the different ways a parent handled, you know, sharing that news with her child. Yeah. Okay, the next one is Lee's. Go.
Lights up on a family on the way to Canada for a skiing trip. Mom and Dad are in the front seat. Quinn and her sister Clara are in the back seat.
Oh,
You're
so
a
sleepy.
I am not.
To wake up. Yes, it is. Relax.
No!
No!
Yes.
Everybody, please stop.
I wish I was far away from all you!
Be careful what you wish for.
A car horn sounds loudly. Blackout. Lights up on Quinn and Clara in twin beds in a hotel room.
This room is so teeny.
Oh my God! First of all, it is not small. Second of all, stop using that word!
Don't have a cow, man.
You're such a bratty Bart.
Okay, if I'm Bart Simpson, you're Lisa Simpson. When Lisa gets bullied at that slumber party, this is that slumber party.
You are so immature. Grow up. I'm going to sleep. I'm taking the Double Blades Trail tomorrow.
Big deal.
I can't hear you. I'm sleeping.
Lights dim. Quiet breathing. Quinn starts talking in her sleep.
I'm carving. Faster, faster. Oh no. Slow down. Stop. Look out!
Lights flicker on and off, and then up on Quinn, tossing and turning in bed. The family is gathered around her.
Wake up, Quinn.
She's just dreaming. Everybody back to bed.
Clara goes back to bed. Mom and Dad leave the room. Lights change to a sepia tone. Quinn jumps up and checks for injuries. She looks around and is startled by Pauline in 20th century dress.
Not to worry. Checks out. No broken bones.
Where am I? What happened? Who are you?
Where are you? You are neither here nor there. What happened? You made a wish. Who am I? I am your tour guide.
Another more fantastical example. Such a fun play. What I love about these play kind of on this theme of what they like learned and listened from one another. I mean, apart from really listening to Quinn's kind of family history and that story, but also just little details that we didn't see in this clip that Lee remembered. Oh, Quinn loves Hamilton and kind of worked that in, or loves cooking and worked that into the play and kind of pulled these little details from what they talked about. And I just thought that was lovely. So for the next couple of clips, I mean, just to kind of end this portion of this little chat, I mean, the big goal of this workshop was to create connection across generations. I mean, you know, we know that apart from family interactions, if we're lucky, maybe teens have relationships, meaningful relationships with their grandparents and vice versa. But apart from family relationships, these intergenerational relationships are not really prioritized or cultivated often. But in this workshop, through playwriting, beautiful connections were really formed. Some even said that they had never shared so much about their lives with someone before. So it was really, really special. So these following two plays that we'll show, these are the last two from our workshop, are from Sophia and Luna. And I think their plays kind of show how deeply they listen to one another and how they aim to find connection and honor each other through their plays. So I see Sophia on here. Hi, Sophia. So we'll start with Sophia's clip first and then move to Luna's.
Lights up on Luna King O'Brien, age 7, alone in her room. She talks to herself in her mirror.
I remember being in the dark place, cozy, next to my sister, and a light, and then a shake, and my sister waves her little hand. I feel a shake. I say, "Don't go." She says, "Get ready." I hear someone say, "Push." My twin says, "Whee!" Heads down the chute. I wait and wait. 2 more minutes, and I hear, "Push harder." It's my turn to go down the chute. My eyes are closed up. Here I go. I have arrived 2 minutes younger. I can't see. I hear my sister crying, and I open my eyes. Everything is cloudy. I hear 2 voices and remember happy crying with joy and laughing. Another girl, twins, healthy twins, the brightest eyes. My eyes are tired. Now, I see everything times 2. Everyone must see times 2, right? I can't switch my eyes on and off all the time to see clearly. I won't let this stop me from anything.
Lights up on Sophia King, a Greek woman in a hospital room. She wears scrubs. Sophia holds a book called How to Be a Mother in her hands. She's about halfway through the book. She licks her finger and turns the pages, her glasses sliding halfway down her face.
I don't think baby books teach you how to be a good mother. They're too short to cover the years while you're both still alive. And there's no way they're accurate. I don't think I've read a single baby book where the writer is a current mother of an infant. It's always settled in Michigan with 2 teenage daughters, or dedicated to my 32-year-old son. Or it's Harvard researchers who base their findings on self-selecting, perfect mothers who want to showcase their perfect children with perfect bow ties and pink ribbons that might as well be tied around their necks. I think the real purpose of baby books is to get you excited about being a mother. You feel the slick, shiny, laminated covers with cute baby button noses and chubby cheeks, and it's like a Christmas catalog. In fact, the entire pregnancy is like staying up late on Christmas Eve. It's tiring, long, unrewarding, and no one can stop you from eating Santa's cookies. And you wonder if Santa will forgive you. Maybe he's hungry. Maybe he burned a lot of calories sliding down 400,000 chimneys that night, and all he's looking for is a plate of warm peanut butter chocolate chunk cookies that are already in your mouth. Thankfully, Santa's going to leave you presents anyway. He has a job, a responsibility, and as a mother, you have more responsibilities than you think you know, than you may know. You have to be able to love unconditionally. You have to be sorry when you say it. To be a mother is to just have enough and then some. To give to others. You have to have a feeling in your heart that it'll all work out. Now, they don't teach you that in baby books.
It's the perfect play clip to watch on Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day, everyone.
That's wonderful. So, I mean, the last thing that I will say, kind of on this theme of connecting across generations, is just sharing an activity that we started and ended the workshop with. So this was an activity that the New York Theater Workshop gave us. It was a stereotype activity. And basically what we did is the first session, we split the group into two, our teens and our seniors. And in those groups, we told them they needed to come up with a list of stereotypes about the other group. We did this not to be mean-spirited, but almost to just kind of get these perceptions out on the table so we could discuss them. And so we got in the two groups. Carley and I are with one and the other. We wrote out these words on chart paper, and then we came back together, stuck these lists on the wall, and we shared them for all to see. And I truthfully remember being like a little nervous about this activity. We didn't know each other yet. We hadn't really built the trust that we left the workshop with. But I think what happened was really marvelous and set the tone for our workshop. I mean, we read the lists. There was a lot of laughter in the room.
Can I share? I actually have the
Sure.
list.
Sure, absolutely.
Share, let's see.
So Lesley can kind of share these lists, but yeah, we talked about the ones that we maybe identified with. I remember some members of this workshop even offered ones that were new ones about their group, like, oh, you didn't put this one about seniors, you didn't put this one about teens. Yeah, this is the start of the workshop. You can kind of read for yourself some of the words. And again, these stereotypes are not necessarily things that the people in those groups that were coming up with and believed, but just kind of stereotypes that we can recognize. And so we talked about them, and afterwards, this was Carley's great idea. Everyone wrote a monologue about a stereotype of their own generation. And so in these monologues, everyone had, I think, a fun time kind of pushing back against those stereotypes or playing with them a little bit. I particularly remember Quinn, one of our teens, writing a monologue about how she does know how to cook very well, and wrote a very, very fun monologue about that. So that's where we started. And at the end of the workshop, we circled back to the activity, but this time we split the groups to share what they actually thought about the other generation. So the teens came up with the words to describe our seniors, and the seniors came up with words to describe our teens. And the list that they created was really beautiful. Lesley, I don't know if you have that one as well.
I do.
We can read these. So elders are experienced, wise, generous, forgiving, interested, engaged, talkative, friendly, sweet, open-minded, confident, open to sharing. They find the joy in life. They find the silver lining. They're inspiring. And our teens, we have a lot of common with them. They're patient, they're really game and open, they're accomplished, they're brave, they're empathetic and caring, not judgmental, good listeners, polite and respectful, fun, in all caps. They take initiative and they're on top of things, they're poised, they take advantage of opportunities, and we love them. So I think these final lists really show what a workshop like this one can do, what playwriting intergenerationally can do, which is to kind of create this connection, understanding, and break down these intergenerational divides. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll take questions in just a sec, but I want to thank the actors who were part of that, who you saw in those clips. So we had AJ Sage, Ross Harstead, Sara Plotkin, who's on the call, Sarah Chalmers, Anya Gibeon, and Seth Kaprosky, and they were all quite amazing. Yeah, they were wonderful. Let me see, I can't see. Who do we have who are participants on here? We have Marilyn and Amaya and Sophia, right?
Yep.
I can't actually see the whole group of people.
That's what I see.
Yeah. Do we want to, yeah, so love to take questions from you all on anything to do with this.
And these questions can be for us, or I mean, we do have some playwrights in the room, so I'm sure if they would be open to talk about their experience, you can also have questions for them.
And you can put them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and call it out. Anybody? Okay. Oh, how did we recruit participants? Asked Sarah Daly.
This is Sophia.
Oh, yeah, Sophia, what did you, Sophia, one sec, let's, there's a question in the chat that we can answer. So we got the word out in lots of different ways. We had some partner organizations. They were Running the Places Theater Company, Lifelong Seniors, GX Seniors, Southside Community Center, and Village at Ithaca were all partners in this, and they got the word out to their networks. And we had, so there was an application period and people applied. That was it. And Sophia, did you want to, was there something you wanted to say?
I just wanted to say a lot of my family's on watching this, and I didn't explain some things that I had never written a play before. I'd written short little stories, but I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And not being a novice, but I took in everything that Lesley, Carley, and Sara said. And they also, I learned a lot of what I thought young people were thinking of elders and vice versa. And I had not the opinion of my elders about young people. And I think that listening to how empathetic and wise that a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 17-year-old, and an 18-year-old were. And it was so easy to be honest, talking to a stranger with any question that was thrown out to us on a Saturday afternoon, and how they took it in and absorbed it. And my life lesson was to share my truth. And although my partner Luna is not online, she wrote 23 pages of manuscript about me, and we had to cut it down to 10, and I also wrote too much too. And it all came to fruition, and we didn't know the actors, and they paid us a huge debt of gratitude from all. So it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. And knowing that this is the next generation, and we're proud of all these young people and how they took in our stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you so much, Sophia.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a wonderful group, I have to say.
Yes.
Are there any other questions out there?
I see another one has come in the chat. to the participants. I so enjoyed hearing about your process of writing these plays together and thought they were really outstanding. Would love to hear what sticks with each of you about the experience. Amaya, are you on there and able to answer this question?
Yeah, so I guess what sticks with me is just the like connection between, you know, the generations, and yeah.
See if I can.
Agreed.
Yeah. And Marilyn, what about you? Oh, and let's unmute yourself, Marilyn.
Thank you for the muting etiquette. Hi, Maya. Hi, Sophia. Hi, all. You guys, I miss you. But I think from beginning to end, it was a wonderful experience. I like to think for all to see a group of people come together to tackle something very few of us had any experience with, pull 8 plays out of the experience and to be a part of it, and only a part of it. Just watching the plays now, it doesn't feel like, I feel like I can be more objective than watching them when we actually presented them. And there's some really solid material in these plays. So to move 8 people through 10 weeks to knowing nothing about a play, to sitting there with playwright over their head is nothing short of a miracle. And the 3 of you have a lot to be proud of. You know, I feel like we all have a shared pride, like we made it happen. I hope you're doing it again, because I know how much fun our group had. So I hope that you have another group behind us coming through the door.
You've applied for another grant. We'll see if it comes through, and if it doesn't, we'll apply for another grant.
Big sales.
Big sales, yeah, because it was entirely grant funded, which was really great. Sophia, you have your hand up.
I just wanted to tell those that are watching this that they only saw a snippet of the total play thus far, and it really was a moving experience for me. Thank you.
I would love to ask the 3 playwrights on here if you've done any writing since this. Amaya, have you been writing?
Yeah, no more plays, but
Do you think you will write a play again?
I'd definitely like to.
Great. Sophia, Marilyn, how about you? Have you been writing?
Not writing, although I think I look at life and the material that life offers, and I find myself asking the question, is this a play? Could this be a play?
Yes. Yes.
And actually, this is a perfect time to share with my little group and the bigger group. Busy with a 3-week-old new grandson, Robert.
Oh,
So,
congratulations.
yeah. Better than a play.
Few things are, but a grandchild, yes.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Sophia, have you been writing?
Yes, a little bit. I have been writing, and I've been writing some poems also, but little snippets. I realize that every day something comes through my spirit, and I take that and I do something with it. I write it down, and then I might come back to it and then continue on with my writing. But I learned so much from our little man that you gave us, our learning zone, and the patience and curiosity, and being in conflict and being uncomfortable with what I was writing, and just breathing and taking it to a peaceful place, and putting it away and maybe picking it up again and carrying on. So it's different when you're alone in writing than when you're with a group, and many questions are asked of you, and the questions you think you want to ask the other young person become not the questions that you wrote down before class. You know, one question and answer led to many other questions that I had not thought about. So I think good listening and being, like I said, being really honest with a young person that wants to hear their answer to their question. And yeah, I like the writing. I continue writing.
So great.
Thank you.
Emily, I saw your hand up briefly. I have a feeling you have a question.
Well, it's not a question. I just wanted to say that I did see the plays at the kitchen, and I was so impressed, and I'm really impressed again. I was so happy to see them, to see the clips again, to be my mind was refreshed, because I do forget a lot of things. But that whole production was just marvelous, and I'm so impressed with everybody.
Thank you, Emily. That's so kind.
So much. Are there other questions out there?
There's some online.
Oh yeah,
see
another one.
Questions.
I feel like let's see.
I think we've answered the ones in the chat so far.
So too.
Any other burning questions out there?
Right. John, do you want to pop on for a minute? Let's see if I can pop you on and talk about upcoming Story House events.
Yes, I am actually putting them in chat if people can hear or see them. We have actually, let me just say first, as an audience member for this program, thank you to all of you, Lesley and Sara and Carley and the participants. That was really great, and I lived through this at a little distance the first time around, and it was just a delight to see to think about it and see it again. So Story House Ithaca has a few things coming up. We've had a really busy stretch, and I think we're catching our breath a little bit, but we've got you can always find out what we're doing at storyhouseithaca.org, or also following us on Facebook at Story House Ithaca, or on Instagram at Story House Ithaca. And but what's coming right up is at the end of this month, we're going to be moving this exhibition of prisoner art and writing that's been going through the libraries in the Finger Lakes area. It'll be going to its final library in Cortland on May 31st. We'll have a little reception, and then it'll be there for the whole month of June. So if you haven't seen that yet, it's really moving, and please do go. Cortland's not so far from Ithaca, assuming most folks on this call are from Ithaca. Please do check that out. On June 6th, Tuesday, there's a presentation night, which is these short 5-minute presentations by about 5 or 6 people over the course of an evening. And it's stuff that people were curious about and learned about, and then tell the rest of the group about. It's not experts talking about their area of expertise, but folks who were anyway, I did a presentation about dust last time, and there was a companion presentation about glitter, which was very informative. June 20th, a couple of weeks after that, we're going to try something for the first time, an improvisational theater thing with storytelling that we're still working on. That we'll have details and a name at some point. Robin Schwartz mentioned at the beginning of this about the workshop in August 3rd, and so the details are up there. Make Your Writing Sing with Jamie Warburton. She's a terrific teacher of writing, and she's got this idea of musical notation, sort of a different system of musical notation for helping you perform your work. If you're a writer who has to read a poem or an essay or a speech or whatever, that should be really cool, working with a musician, M. Ludek, and that should be really exciting. then the last thing is that I hope that some of you got to the Black to the Future Film Festival a couple of weekends ago. And that was our first ever Black Film Festival, centering Black stories and looking at Black lives and at Black film. And we're planning to keep that going on probably not monthly, but we're going to do several through the year presentations, and more details are to come. So again, please visit our website and follow us and sign up for our mailing list. And thanks so much.
Thank you.
Carley, got you on here. Tell about what you're working on. I know it's not Story House, but
Yes.
but it's cool and it's theater.
I appreciate that. Yes. So I work with Civic Ensemble, a theater company here in town, and we are producing our next community-based play called Fertile Grounds. It'll be premiering the first 2 weekends of June. The first weekend is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the Soil Factory, which is near Ithaca Beer Co. And the second weekend will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday at CSMA, June 9th, 10th, and 11th at CSMA downtown on the 3rd floor. So if you're interested, tickets are up. You can check out civicensemble.org and scroll down for our community-based play. So thank you.
Sara, do you have anything to share that you're working on, or?
Just working on my dissertation, which no one needs to hear about, but thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, but no, just thank you everyone for being here tonight. And yeah, this was really lovely.
I want to jump in for 1 second and just congratulate Robin at Community Arts Partnership. This has been a really intense couple of weeks for her, and it's amazing how she's juggled all these different events and with multiple participants in each one, and she's been amazing to work with, and just hats off, congratulations on this achievement.
Thank you.
Hey, Robin.
You know what I say? It's like, I didn't actually organize 40 events. I chose 40 events, and so each event organizer actually did all the work and put the event together. The hard part was the schedule. Oh my God. Once I got past the schedule, all I have to do is show up and do my little welcome speech. Hey, was that I don't remember, was that a CAP grant for the?
Yeah,
the
sorry, I
project?
did mean to mention the funding. We did get support from the Community Arts Partnership and from Humanities New York. Oh, wait, that's not true. Sorry. From the sorry, Legacy Foundation. I never said that. Legacy Foundation and Community Arts Partnership. We're really grateful to support that made it free for all the participants to do this.
Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight, and check out springrights.org, the workshops in August. I mean, from June to September. And I noticed that John put the link to their Zoom, the Zoom link to their August workshop in the chat, but you can also find it at springrights.org. So yay, that's a wrap.
Yay, thanks everyone for coming. Thanks so much. Thanks, Sara and Carley. You're awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.